So I have a legitimate question for Ratchets, okay? Right? So the whole narrative, that centers around Ratchets and victimhood, right? And how the white man's out to get them is one of the largest features of it is poverty. Okay? And in poverty, you should be able to afford fewer things rather than more things because you are impoverished. You have fewer resources. So explain to me why all of you guys are fucking fat. Ratchets, by and large, are fat. Now, it's not just girls. A lot of you dudes walk around looking like doughboys, fat as fuck. Still, somehow your pants are hanging off your butt, but you're all fat. Like if you watch Cold Blue Cam, which I like that one. I like Law and Crime. I like hating on Ratchets. Period. That's what I do. That's gonna be a large feature of this channel. So get used to it, right? But what I noticed is the cops inevitably have to drag these people out the car, or drag them out the building, or do whatever they have to do with them. And I always notice that they have to use more than one set of cuffs because they're trying to put their hand behind their backs, but these big backs, it's too much real estate, so they have to use a second set of cuffs, right? And then inevitably they fall over and they fight, and the stomach flops out, and you got to see all that and all that extra redundant body material. And I just ask myself, okay, you're in Walmart stealing, right? So you must not have money for food, but you must have had money for food at some point, because you're about 50 to 60 pounds overweight. Why are so many of these ratchets, and I'll say blacks in general, overweight? Why? Now, I'm 5'10", 165, okay? And I still think I could do better in terms of being in shape. I'm not as muscular as I used to be. I'd like to get back in shape. But it's just amazing to me that all these people who claim to be in the most racist country in the world, the most horrible country in the world, all look jiggly. All look jiggly, all have that fucking exhausted walk they have and shit, that exhausted, like, I can't believe this cop is making me stand up. Because, not even because it's a cop, but just I don't feel like standing up. They all have that. Did you know statistically 80% of black women are overweight? And did you know that 80% of that 80% are obese? Meaning your weight is now negatively affecting your health. So you might have diabetes, you might have, heart issues, you might have a lot of issues, atherosclerosis. It could be a myriad of things, but I just noticed these ratchets are always fat. It's just like, how oppressed are you? Now, when I think of oppression, I think about, the white man doing a number on somebody. I think about the continent of Africa, certain parts, certain countries within the continent of Africa that aren't doing so great. And you see the children kid with the big head and the distended stomach and the flies on the face, and they're scooping a cup through some dirty ass water, and they're gonna boil that and try to make some food tonight, or they're picking through a landfill, and they look terrible. They look scrawny. They look like bloated little skeletons. It's not a good look. That's actual real poverty. That's actual real colonialism, apartheid, fucking legacy shit. That's what that actually is out here. Okay, and I don't take away the black thing, take away the ratchet thing. Out here in the US, okay, our poor are fat. So how poor could they actually be? And no, I don't want to hear about food deserts. I don't want to hear about food deserts. I don't want to hear about food deserts for a few reasons. One, there are literally supermarkets everywhere. Two, if you don't have a car, there's public transportation. Three, if you couldn't feed yourself, why the fuck did you go out and get knocked up or knock somebody up and have kids? Okay? Four, you could buy a big ass sack of rice, a big ass sack of beans at your local commissariat, or your local ethnic shop, okay? Ethnic meaning kind of like more specialized shop, from like there's a lot of places around me that have, great little Filipino grocery stores, and you can go in there and get food dirt cheap. Dirt cheap, enough food to feed a family for a month. You could probably go in there with 50 to 60 bucks and feed your family good, healthy options from like probably local farmers that these people know for like 50 to 60 fucking bucks if you know what you're doing and you know how to stretch things. So I don't want to hear about food deserts. Figure it out. Figure it out. Beans and rice will stay and will keep in your cupboard for years, okay? So yeah, I say again, how oppressed can you be in the U.S. if you're fat? How oppressed can you be, or how hardworking can you be in the U.S. when you're fat like that? Are you really working hard? Are you really doing things? Are you really moving around? Are you really doing your best to get out of that situation? I just wonder.